name is Jill Broadhurst, and I am asking for your vote, either absentee or November 2nd. And why I am running, again, is that I think that we deserve better. We deserve good governance in a city that is absolutely amazing, and I think we don't disagree on that. We have a port, an airport, amazing climate. We have a lot of land. We have people that have great educational institutions around us. There is no reason that Oakland should be suffering right now. And if you were to ask yourself why, I think we could all say it's because of poor leadership. So we need people that understand the constituency and understand what it is to be a civil servant, to be a public servant in front of people that are looking for services that are easier to access, for efficiencies, for people to be responsible with their dollars, to make sure that they're making educated decisions when they turn and form policy. So what I say to you is that I am that fresh perspective. I have a degree in business administration and economics. I worked in the private sector for over 10 years for banks and brokerage houses. I've been a community volunteer full-time for almost 10 years while I've been raising my 2 kids, one who goes to public school. This city, with good leadership, can be amazing. And I want to be your elected official and take us there. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out this evening. And I would say you, the voters, have the hardest job here. I know we've been working hard at this for a while, but to sort through all the facts and who really means what they're saying and all that is a difficult job. And especially with 7 candidates, you've got a lot to work your way through. As everybody said, you know, we have serious problems in the city that have to be solved. We've got a budget that, unless we solve our budget problem, we're not going to be able to solve any of the other problems relative to public safety or any of the other things we talked about here tonight. That's where it all begins and ends. And the question is, how do we solve our budget problems? And what it's really going to take is a new form of leadership in the city, a leadership that's willing to sit sides down, get opposing sides together, work with them, negotiate deals, and make it clear to them that if you don't sit down, you're going to have to take a reduction in your pay if you want a job. Because if you don't take a reduction in pay, you won't have a city to pay your paycheck. It's that simple. I've had police officers admit to me, we have to take cuts in pay, we know, to keep our job. That's the reality of where we're at right now. But it's also going to involve people who have to be fair about that process and be fair to all sides. And that's going to require a level of integrity and honesty that has simply been lacking in our city government for far too long. So that's what I would be bringing to this government, bringing to City Council. The last thing I'd like to say is, in this election, you have more than one choice. You got your 3 choices. And I will tell you right now, I think I should have a job, but my number 2 choice in this candidate up here is Jill Broadhurst, because of the honesty and integrity she's brought to this process. And I would very much encourage you, if you're not voting for me, to vote for her. Thank you.
Well, I thought we had something. So I hope you got a sense that I really want a strong community advocate, a strong education advocate to represent the people and individuals that make up District 4. I'm really trying to carry on my tradition of public service. I've put my skill sets, my professional background to work for the community as a volunteer, taken initiative to show leadership, founding organizations, creating something from nothing to really drive the revitalization of one of our major neighborhoods in the district. And that's something that I want to continue on, not as a career move, not as a political aspiration, but as my commitment to helping others, a value that I earned growing up here in Oakland, coming from my parents, my mentors, the role models, coming through OPS, and really seeing something special about this city, that when we do come together, we can make stuff happen. And we've seen it in all of our great neighborhoods. And I want to be there to fight for that, to advocate for that, as a strong voice. Hopefully you can see that this is about character and not just about the connections. What I've done is visible. You can walk through the streets of Diamond and see my resume. It's tangible. Being able to take on leadership positions that get results. I don't like no for an answer. I created the Oktoberfest event with nothing because we had no money to do some of the things. The city wasn't giving it to us. So we created a revenue generator. And there's plenty of those opportunities to create public-private partnerships to see that our needs are met, even though we're going through some lean times. The one thing about this budget crisis is that it gives us an opportunity to make some systemic change once and for all, to get people on board with a different way of doing things, to break some of those old habits. When we can send a mandate to the City Hall with a community vision that says we want something better for Oakland in the next 15, 20 years, we can get people on board with that. And if they're not on board, we can get rid of them.
Thank you again for the opportunity to share my vision as to why I believe I am the most uniquely qualified to represent District 4. As I shared previously, ranked choice voting is very new for us, and so we do have the opportunity to identify 3 individuals that best suit our needs. But as it relates to Oakland, and as it relates to this critical juncture that we're in currently, leadership is going to be very important. And unfortunately, on-the-job training will not be possible to address the fiscal, financial difficulty that this city is in. So it really requires someone who has experience navigating very complex environments, be it at the federal, state, regional, or local level. It really requires someone who has experience building very strong public-private partnerships. I do believe that I am that person. Having served on the Oakland Housing Authority, where I built transit-oriented development, having secured $1 billion during an administration that was not focused on weatherization for the most vulnerable in our communities, having had the opportunity to build affordable housing in the private sector through tax credit investment programs, and being able to bring $10 million to Alameda County. There are all of these experiences that I have, and I welcome you to review the literature that we brought with us this evening. And I also welcome you to see some of the other people who are engaged in our community that believe that I am the best choice in this election. And so I thank you again for your time and leave you with this thought. You know, it's all about collaboration and it's all about building coalitions. At the end of the day, the role of the council member is to support the local activism which is transpiring here in the Allendale and in the Laurel. But if you don't have the ability to collaborate and count to 4 in relation to your other colleagues, it will be very difficult to bring resources home. Again, my name is Melanie Shelby, and I thank you so much for your time.
Well, excuse me. Well, again, thank you very much for coming out this evening. It's very good to see so many people out on a Friday night to listen to this with so short few days left before the campaign. My name is Killian, and I'm running because we can have a better city. We can solve our basic problems of crime. What it's going to take is basic commitment to make the city better. We need to bring resources into Oakland to combat our serious crime. U.S. attorneys should be here filing RICO statutes against gang members, not injunctions. The FTA should be here stopping illegal gun sales. The DEA should be here stopping illegal drug sales so that we can free up our police to make us safe in our homes. We have to rebuild Oakland's economy. We need jobs in this city. It was announced a few weeks ago that our largest private employer, Clorox, is moving 700 jobs out of downtown Oakland. You know what that means. Clorox is gone. Just like Safeway left, just like Chevron jumped over Oakland and left San Francisco and went to San Ramon, just like many other companies avoid Oakland. You have Emeryville companies now who have grown out of Emeryville who are relocating to South San Francisco. We don't have political leadership. We have people hold titles that say that they're in charge of economic development, but we watch the jobs in the 4th largest economy in this country bypass Oakland. That has to stop, and it stops by getting good leadership in this city. We have to have people dedicated to make sure our city delivers the basic services. We have a $1.1 billion budget, And you're gonna tell me we can't find the savings at basic services here? We don't need the highest paid city attorney in the state of California. We don't need the highest paid department heads in California. We need people who are dedicated to public service. That's why I'm running. That's what I'll deliver to you, and I look forward to working with you to build a better Oakland. Thank you.
Like everybody else tonight, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out and spending time with us to get to know us a little bit better. Unfortunately, I don't have the financial or political backing to put mail in your mailbox every day that you take to the recycle bin and throw away or recycle. Unfortunately, I have a family that I have to dedicate my finances to. I'm running as a concerned citizen first, a concerned father first, a concerned husband first. I went to that budget meeting when they came out and Mr. Dellums came out and spoke to the city, and then the city council passed around a piece of paper and told the people that were there what their budget was going to be. They didn't wait to hear from the people like you and me. They went ahead and they made their deal in the back room before they came out in front of the city to announce it. That's what happens in the city. Unfortunately, people get involved in their own lives, their own families, their issues that they have, but they don't have time to go down to City Hall every week or every 2 weeks and deal with stuff like that. I want to be that person that's out in your community, finding out what the issues are, and then taking them back to City Hall and to my colleagues and working with them on planning and developing answers to the questions and the concerns that you have. It's great that all these people up here have a plethora of financial and political backgrounds and education and everything like that. I'm trying to run to make the city better for everyone. I want my son to grow up in a city that he can be proud of. I want people to bring their families to this city. I want people to move to the city. I want to bring jobs to the city. And the only way that I see that I can help in that matter is to ask you for your vote. You can put whoever you want second or third, because second or third won't matter in this race. The first person that gets your vote is the one that you think can do the best job for this district and this city. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, I'm Libby Schaaf, and I'm here because I love Oakland. And I'm just full of energy to fix some things. And again, I have specifics. I have 4 priorities with a lot of very specific ideas and energy and passion to make some real positive changes for this city. I want to reduce and prevent crime. I want to do that by following the lead of our great new police chief, Chief Batts, including his innovative strategy called the Kanz strategy, and ask me about it afterwards if you want to hear about it. And also to promote neighborhood improvements to make our neighborhoods physically safer. I want to build a thriving economy in this city. I want to create a more business-friendly environment within the city because our processes now do not attract businesses, they repel them. And we also need to make much wiser investments of our very limited redevelopment dollars that we do have. I want to build an excellent public school system. This is an issue that has been my personal passion my whole life, long before I became a parent. Obviously now it has a special meaning for me. By building partnerships and collaboration so that we can reduce our costs by sharing things. I've already pledged to our school board member, Gary Yee, that I will also share resources with whoever the District 4 school board member is. I also want to make a great focus on truancy. Truancy is one thing that the city has more power over that we can address. And then finally, I want to build a responsive and responsible government. And again, I talked about the fiscal policy that I'm passionate about and about pension reform, which this city needs. I'm very proud to be endorsed by a lot of people and a lot of organizations. And I encourage you to go to my website, libby4oakland.com, and read the whole list because it shows a breadth and a depth and groups that don't usually agree on anything. And that is hopefully my proof to you that I am a coalition builder, and I'm proud that there are actually more District 4 residents than organizations or politicians.
Thank you all. On behalf